Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with a new series which is the CBSE Computer Science Class 11 portion, and the computer system overview is a chapter 1, and under that the topics we will be looking today is the introduction, basic computer organization, under that the input unit, output unit and CPU, the central processing unit. This will be helpful not only to the CBSE class 11 computer science students but also to someone who wants to learn the basics of computer science and the language Python. So now let's go into the topic, and the question here is, what is a computer? We all know that, since it's very common these days, like everyone uses a computer. So computer is an electronic device. It performs variety of operations, and the operations are based on a set of instructions called program. Next, we will start looking at the components and the basic units of the computer. So what are the important components of the computer? The hardware and the software. So what is hardware? Hardware is nothing but the electronic component of the computer, and example of it we can say it's keyboard, CPU, monitor, printer, etc. And what is software? A software is a set of instructions which runs over this electronic component to carry out specific tasks. And example we can say a browser, and most commonly used browsers are in IE, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, and another example we can say is the operating system, and most commonly used operating systems are Windows, Unix, Mac, etc. And we can see that the software can be further classified into three different types: system software, application software and utility software. System software is mandatory for all the computers system to work properly. So an operating system is one of the system software, and without it we will not be able to use a computer. And application software is made to perform a specific task. For example, we can say MS Word and the different browsers. Utility software, it assists the computer to perform tasks like the data backup, virus removal, scanning, etc. And antivirus is a very good example. We know like antiviral utilities like McAfee, Norton, installed in almost every computer to have a virus free system. And then to understand the functioning of the computer in a broader sense, we need to know the basic units of the computer. So the basic units of the computer, we can say it's input unit, central processing unit or the CPU, output unit and the memory unit. Here there is a block diagram showing the basic computer organization, and we can say that the logical structure of the computer describes how the components are connected with one another and how they all work together. We can see the central processing unit, and it has the arithmetic logical unit which performs the arithmetic and logical operations, the registers which acts as a temporary storage, and the control unit which controls the flow of data and the operations that needs to be performed. And this central processing unit is connected with the other units like the memory unit, input unit, output unit and the storage unit through a bus. And there is one other block on the side which explains the principle in which the computer system works. It works on the IPO principle, which means input, process and output. Given an input, the computer processes it and produces an output. So this is about the basic computer organization. Now we will look in detail the individual components. The first unit we're going to look into is the input unit. So what is an input unit? An input unit takes the input from the user and converts it into binary form so it can be understood by the computer. So I can give you an example. If as an user we are entering in data in a Word document, we will be entering alphabets, words, and sentences. A computer doesn't understand the alphabets as such. It has to be converted in form of zeros and ones, and this is known as the binary form. And so the conversion takes place after we enter these alphabets. The conversion takes place and then it is processed by the computer. We will look in the detail the binary form in chapter 2. And now we will look at the most common input devices, and we use these like the keyboard, mouse, scanner, joystick. The next unit we are going to look into is the output unit. So what is an output unit? An output unit converts the binary information and into an form that can be understood by the human. So a binary information is transferred to a human readable form or an human understandable form. And I can give you an example for this. Like suppose if there is some audio information and inside the computer it is stored in form of zeros and ones, and an output unit is the one which converts this zeros and ones in form of a music or a speech, like whatever the information is, and it is presented to the user. Like the most common output devices we use, we can say it's a monitor, printer, speaker. The next important unit we are going to look into is the central processing unit, the CPU. The central processing unit is the main control center and the processing unit. It is also called as the brain of the computer. The central processing unit guides, directs, controls and governs the performance of the computer, and this is done with the help of the subcomponents. 3 subcomponents: arithmetic logical unit ALU, control unit CU, and the registers. We already had a look on the block diagram where these 3 units were part of the CPU. An arithmetic logical unit, it performs all the arithmetic and the logical operations, basically the comparison operation. The control unit supervises, controls and guides the operations that has to take place, and the registers holds a small unit of data temporarily. Now we will look in detail these individual subcomponents. First is the arithmetic logical unit. An arithmetic logical unit, it performs 4 arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. And logical operations we can say is greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, etc. And we need to understand what happens when an arithmetic operation has to be performed. For example, let us say we need to add 2 numbers, and 2 and 3. So when an user enters the numbers 2 and 3 and also the operation like the addition operation that has to be performed on these 2 numbers, this information is stored in the memory. The information, the numbers and the operation that has to be performed is sent from the memory to the ALU. The arithmetic operation of addition is performed on these 2 numbers, that is 2 plus 3 is performed, and the results are put back in the memory. So similarly, when a logical operation has to be performed, like a comparison operation, let us take the same 2 numbers 2 and 3 that has to be compared. So similarly, the numbers are sent from the memory to the arithmetic logical unit, plus with the instruction that a comparison has to take place. And the greater than or less than comparison happens in the arithmetic logical unit. The result is put back in the memory. Generally, the logical operation, it produces only 2 output, that either it is true or false. The next important unit which we will look now is the control unit. The control unit acts as a supervisor by controlling and guiding the operations taking place. Basically, the control unit controls and guides the interpretation, flow, and manipulation of all data and information. For example, if there is a program execution, generally programs will have multiple instructions and these are stored in the memory. So the control unit gets the program instruction from the memory and executes them one after another. After it gets the instruction from the memory, it executes them, it decodes and interprets them, and the required operation is performed and it produces a result. After it is done with one instruction, then it sends a signal to the memory asking it for the next instruction in the sequence. And the control unit is also responsible for the controlling the flow of data from the input device to the memory and from the memory to the output device. For this we can look with the help of an example. If addition of two numbers, for example 2 and 3 has to be done, then through the input unit the numbers 2 and 3 and the addition operation is entered and this information is stored in the memory. The control unit fetches this instruction from the memory and gives it to the arithmetic logical unit to perform the addition operation. Once the addition operation is completed in the arithmetic logical unit, the results are the control unit puts the result back in the memory and also instructs the output unit that the result of the addition operation is available for display to the user. And so we can clearly see that the control unit is responsible for the flow, maintaining the flow of instruction as well as retrieving the instruction one by one in the right sequence, interpreting and performing the right tasks and giving the right results. The next important unit which we are going to look is the register. Registers are small unit and it is generally used for holding temporary data. If there is an addition operation happening in the arithmetic logical unit, there might be some extra information that has to be stored temporarily in the registers for the operation to be completed, and sometimes even memory addresses are stored in this registers. For example, we saw during the program execution, the control unit has to fetch the data one by one. So in that case, it needs the memory address of the next instruction that has to be fetched. So in cases like that, the memory address will be stored in the register, so the control unit can look in the register to fetch the right instruction. And with this we are completing until register. So the next unit, next presentation, we will look in the memory and the other set of topics which can be covered. So any questions you have, please post in the comment section. Thank you.